Today we are going to discuss about thread scheduler in Java. So in the last we have discussed about thread and the multitasking in the last video. So thread is a multiple small task executing concurrently or the sequential in nature. Now the thread scheduler is a component of Java that decide which thread to run or the which thread to execute. Or say that uh, it, it is very difficult to decide among the multiple thread that which thread we will start or the which thread we will stop or the which thread we will choose to start the task. So the component of a Java that decide that the which thread to execute or which thread to pick among the various threads in the pool is called the thread scheduling in Java. Java basically there is a single thread is chosen by the thread scheduler, and the only thread that is picked by the scheduler is in that is in the runnable state. मतलब thread वो ही choose होता है जो भी thread होता है जो runnable state में होता है, ठीक है। और जब भी थ्रेड रनेबल स्टेट में होगा तो वो हमेशा एक सेपरेट कॉल स्टैक में कॉल होगा, बिकॉज हम जानते हैं कि जावा में जो कि मेन थ्रेड जो कि मेन फंक्शन है वो भी अपने आप में एक थ्रेड है। जब भी कोई भी हमारा जावा प्रोग्राम रन होता है तो सबसे पहले वो थ्रेड कॉल होता है, ठीक है। नाउ अब थ्रेड को पिक करने की बात आ गई कि कौन सा थ्रेड पिक करना है पहले और कौन सा नहीं, तो इसमें बात आती है किसके बेसिस पे होता है। तो देयर आर द टू फैक्टर्स दैट decide which thread to choose and which thread to not to choose. So the first factor is priority and the second is time of interval. So the priority means uh, suppose there are the multiple threads that are executing that is on the basis of their priority. Suppose thread 1 or the task 1 that is need to be performed before the task 2, or the thread 3 that is need to be performed among the thread 3. So now we are deciding on the basis of priorities. Now let us suppose we have to there are the various exam of our subjects. Okay, so as per the timetable we will prepare for the exam that is in the first of the timetable, and we will prepare the next exam later. So similarly on the basis of the priority the thread starts choosing itself. So the scheduler will start choosing the thread. Okay, now the second factor is time of arrival. Now suppose there are the two threads that have the same priority and they are entering in the runnable state. So now which to choose and which to not to choose. So suppose there are the two threads we have, okay, and the priority cannot be factored to the pick the thread. And if अगर कोई दो threads हैं हमारे पास में और दोनों की प्रायोरिटी सेम है तो वो जो थ्रेड होगा वो अपनी फर्स्ट कम एंड द फर्स्ट सर्विंग के बेसिस पे जो है शेड्यूलर में पिक होगा। मींस ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ अराइवल टाइम thread scheduler will choose the thread. Okay, so now there are the four algorithms scheduling, sorry, there are the three thread scheduling algorithm. The first is first come first serve, second is time slicing, and the third is preemptive priority scheduling. So the first come first serve algorithm is like the thread which is arriving first the first, and the thread which is arriving at the later will execute the at the last of the process. Okay, so suppose we have a T1 thread that is arriving at the 0 second, and the T2 thread that is arriving at the 1 second, and T3 test that is arriving at the 5th second of when our process start, and at last fourth thread is coming at the 11th second. So in this case thread 1 will be processed first and the thread 4 will be processed later. Okay, now the second is time slicing. Before going to the time slicing, there are the two disadvantages of this first come first serve algorithm. The first is non-preemptive in nature, means suppose if I if what if our thread 1 is executed and it is taking the long time, and T2 waits till the T1 to close completely, but now T1 does not completing, it is taking the long time. So might be there is a deadlock situation arrives. So in this case, it may lead to the infinite blocking. So and this situation is technically known as a starvation problem. So to overcome this problem, we have a time slices algorithm that are providing the threads so that they can execute. Now, slicing algorithm, what is happening in this? In this, each and every thread is giving a particular second of time is given to each and every thread, and each and every thread is executing for a particular set of time. As per the example, time slicing scheduling, thread 1 is executing for the 2 seconds, and the similarly thread 2 is also executing for the same time interval, and the thread 3 is also executing for the same time interval, and same as thread 4. So this is the time slicing algorithm. Last is preemptive priority scheduling, means it is based on the work of priority. Suppose we have a various tasks to do, and so as per the example, suppose we have a CPU one, and in this thread 1 is having the priority of the 6, and thread 2 is a priority of 2, means thread 1 priority is higher than thread 2. So the CPU will choose the thread 1 first and the thread 2 later. Now in the next exam in the next part of this diagram, we can see that thread 1 having the priority 6 and thread 2 having the priority 2, but the thread T is a 3 is a priority 7. So we means that thread T is having the higher priority than thread 1. So in this case, thread 3 will execute the first, and thread 1 will wait for the thread 3 to complete the task, and after that thread 2 will be executed. Okay, so the preemptive priority scheduling means it is the scheduling is based on the totally priority of the processes. Okay, the working of thread scheduler. Now these are the algorithm that we discuss how to pick and the scheduling algorithm. Now the another is that is working of thread scheduler, how our thread scheduler will work. So let us suppose we have a situation that we have a 5 threads, and they have the different arrival time and the different priority. Suppose one have 2 seconds, one is arriving at the 5 second, and the different priorities. So the thread scheduler will select the thread on the basis of higher priority first. Okay, and after that, if a thread is already in the runnable state and the thread reaches the runnable state, then the current thread is preempted from the processor. Means, suppose if we have already a one thread in the state and another thread that has a higher priority comes to the our CPU. Now the first thread that is executing will be slept, and the current thread that is the higher priority will be executed first. So the arrived thread will be the higher priority gets the CPU time. Now as we example, uh, if now this is the example that is showing what happen if two threads have the same priority. Now the scheduling will be this decided basis on the first come and first serve basis. Okay, um, in the last we have discussed that we have multiple threads that are the same priority and having the that are on the same priority and the same arriving time. So they will be executed on the basis of the first come first serve basis. Okay, so the now the last is main thread in Java. As we have already know that main is a startup execution of our the Java program. So whenever the Java program starts, one thread begins the running immediately, and that is the main thread. This is the usually called the main thread. Okay, because whenever JVM starts processing our program, whenever JVM starts compiling our program to the bytecode, it is start the main method is started, And after that, in inside the main thread we have the child thread class, and there are the multiple child thread classes we have. These are the starting inside the main thread. So we can say that first the main thread is executed, and after that the thread class will be executed. Okay. And parallelly to the main thread, if we have some other daemon threads that are need like garbage collector, or the that having the priority over the daemon threads, will be executed first. Diamond threads are the thread that have the that is to be executed on the basis of the top priority. Means if they have to be run to the run. Okay. So thank you. Hope you will like the video. Kindly please comment in the box so that we can make more videos for you. Thank you.